Hi students, this is Namdullah, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Technology, Vignan University. Welcome to the course Software Engineering. So today we are going to start our first session, Agile View of Process. Today we are going to start session 1. So first we will see agenda or objectives of this session. So first we are going to see prerequisite of Agile model. So what are the prerequisite we need for Agile model? Next, why do we need Agile? What is Agile? Characteristics of Agile, Agile practices, Agile values and principles, and finally we are going to see conclusion. So here we are going to see first prerequisite of Agile model. So what are the things we need to learn before going to start Agile model, that we are going to see. And next one, what are the reasons we need to learn Agile, so that we are going to see. And next one is what is Agile. So next we are going to see what exactly is Agile. Next, characteristics of Agile. Next, what are the practices present in Agile. And next we are going to see Agile values and principles. So these are very important. Agile values and Agile principles are very important, where we are going to deal by using these values and principles only we are going to develop the software. And finally we are going to see the conclusion. So this is the agenda of this session. So next we will see prerequisite of Agile model. So in the previous unit you have learned about SDLC models, SDLC and SDLC models. So why we are using SDLC means, in order to develop a qualitative software we are going to follow SDLC, and we are going to follow different types of models to develop a software, like waterfall model, incremental model, iterative model, fish model, verification and validation model. So we have different types of model to develop the software. So first let us see waterfall model. So in the waterfall model we have different phases like requirements, analysis, design, coding, testing, deployment and maintenance. So these are the phases involved in waterfall model. So in the waterfall model we are going to develop the software step by step, phase by phase. That means when you complete this phase, then only we are going for the next phase. So that is why in this process we are going to complete the software. So like this we are going to do, or we are going to develop the software step by step process. So first one is requirements. So requirements means the client is going to give the requirements to the company. Our business analyst will go to the client environment and he will do the research and he will prepare a document. So that document name is called BRS. The document name is called BRS, that is Business Requirement Specification. So after gathering all the requirements, so the business analyst, team members like project managers, developers, test engineers, everybody is going to involve in this meeting. That is nothing but analysis phase. So in this meeting what they are going to do, in which technology we have to develop, what are the resources we need, and everything they are going to discuss, and they are going to prepare one document. That document name is called SRS, that is Software Requirement Specification. And next one, design phase. So in the design phase what we are going to do, so there will be a chief architect. So the chief architect is going to prepare HLD, that is known as high level design document. So in this high level design document, so the chief architect is going to prepare what are the modules present in there, how many modules are there. So like that we are going to do. So that is what design phase. And after preparing the HLD document, the technical members are going to prepare a document called LLD, that is low level design document. So in this LLD, it contains each and every module, that means each and every detail of the module is going to present. For example, if you take Gmail, so Gmail login page is one module. So like that it is given in the HLD. And next in LLD what we are going to do, that is low level design document. So Gmail first page, that is sign up page. So in sign up page there will be a username. So what will be the username, font size, so what will be the text size, password, sign in, cancel. So these are the things, these are the objects which we require in the LLD, that is going to be presented in diagrammatical form, that is known as design phase. So the outcome of this phase is technical design document. The outcome of this phase is technical design document. And next one, based on this technical design document, the developers are going to prepare coding. So that is called as source code document. So source code document is going to be done. And next one, after coding is after completion of coding, testing is going to start. So in testing, what we are going to do, so before the software is released, that is called as build. So build is a software which is not tested, or build is a software which is ready for testing. So here what we are going to do is, in this testing, after the release of build, we are going to execute the test cases. We are going to execute the test cases on the build. If we find any errors, then again what we are going to do, we are going to send back to the developers team, and they are going to modify or rectify or fix the error. Again they will send back to the testing department. So again the testers or test engineers are going to test until that software is error free, bug free. So at that situation, at that point of time only, we are going to accept that application, okay, and we can consider that it is as a qualitative software or quality software. So that is what we are going to do in the testing. And next one is deployment. So in the deployment phase, what we are going to do, so the senior test engineers and project managers, senior test engineers, all will be involved. So all will go to the client environment. They will deploy the software to the client. That means they are going to install the software to the client, and after installation they will check whether it is working properly or not as per the user requirements. That we are going to check, and what is the database, how the database is in relation to the front end, that is front end and back end, the relation database. So everything they are going to check in the deployment. And next one is maintenance phase. So in the maintenance phase, if anything is there, that means in the last stage, if any errors are there, so they are going to fix in the maintenance phase. Or if the client wants to add any new requirements in the middle of software, or not in the middle of software actually, so after 1 year or after 2 years, if the client wants to add more requirements, then we are going to add the requirements. And at this stage, what we are going to do, we are going to check whether these application, whatever the new requirements we are adding, whether it is affecting to the previous modules or not, that we are going to check. So all these things will be done in the maintenance phase. So by following these phases, this waterfall model is going to be work. Okay. So here we have to note one point, that we have to remember one point, that so after completion of this phase only, we are going for the next phase, and after completion of analysis phase only, we are going for the next phase, and after completion of design phase only, we are going for the coding, and like that testing, like that deployment. So we are going step by step. Here when we have a clear requirements only, we can go for the next phase. If you see the diagram, so first will be requirements, design, coding, testing and maintenance. See how the water will fall generally. So it will fall from high to low. So we can't go back to the low to high. So this is the major drawback of waterfall model. Okay. So that is the drawback of waterfall model. And if we have a clear requirements, then only we can go for the next phase. If we don't have this clear requirements or clear designing, we cannot go for the next phase. If we go for the next phase, if we start coding phase, we cannot go back to the design phase. If we are in design phase, we cannot go back to the requirement phase. So like that, we are going to do in the waterfall model. We are going to develop the software in this process. But in this process, we are having number of drawbacks. So we will see those drawbacks. What are those drawbacks? So see here, see the diagram, how the water is falling from topwards to downwards. That is from requirements to design, coding, testing and maintenance. So like that, the water is going to fall from high to low. That means here what we are doing, we are going to the next phase when we are completing this requirements phase only. We are going to the coding phase when we are done with the design phase. We are going to the testing phase when we are done with the coding phase. So like that only we are going for that. So here there is no possibility of going back. So there is no possibility of going back to the previous phase. That is the major drawback in the waterfall model. Suppose for example, if a client wants to change the requirements, suppose if we are in coding phase, for example, if client comes to the company and he asks to add a new requirements, it is not possible to do here, because so already we are done with the requirements. Once we are done with the requirements, we will go to the next phases. So while we are in coding phase, we can't go back to the previous phase. If we are doing like that, the entire project is going to crash. So that is the major drawback of this waterfall model. So now we will see what are the issues in waterfall model. So first one is, there will be a communication gap can result in disaster. That means there will be no communication between the client and as well as developers team. So there will be communication only at the stage of requirements phase only. After that, the client is going to see his end product at the deployment stage. So he can't see the project in the middle of the development. So that is the major drawback here. So there will be a communication gap between the client and the developers. So this may result to the disaster. So the client may not satisfy. And next, no working model will be available. So here, no working model is available. That means the client cannot see the blueprint or cannot see the project in the middle of the development. So he can see only at the deployment stage. At the deployment stage, if he is not satisfied with the requirements, then the product is going to be disaster. Next, cannot change the plan. So once we gather all the requirements and we move to the next phase, we cannot change the plan again and again. If you do like that, the project is going to crash. So next, we can't go back to the previous phase as we already discussed, and can't change the requirements. Once we go for the next phase, we cannot change the requirement. Okay. So here we cannot go back to the previous phase and we can't change the requirements in the middle of development. So these are the issues. So these are the issues present in the waterfall model. So here, to avoid these issues, to avoid these drawbacks, we are going for agile methodologies. So these are the prerequisite of agile model. So now we will see why actually we need agile. So we will see one example, one real-time example. X person is there. Suppose this X person is client. So he has a business. He want to develop a website for his business to develop. So what he will do? This X person, client, and he will go and meet to the vendor of software company. He will go and meet to the vendor of software company. And he will discuss all the requirements, whatever the requirements he need, he is going to discuss with the client. And then they are going to make the project signing agreement they are going to make. Okay. So after the agreement, so at the time of requirements, for example, if client wants a application like WhatsApp, if a client wants a application like he wants to develop like a WhatsApp application. Suppose he has given this agreement in the year 2019. In the year 2019. So what the company will do, the company people will ask for example, 1 year. If they ask 1 year to develop this WhatsApp application, so the client will accept that one, and the software company, they will start working on developing the application like WhatsApp. So after 1 year, that is in 2020, after 1 year, what will happen? So the client will come to the company and he will ask his software. The company people will give. But now after 1 year, how many changes came in WhatsApp? So number of features are changed. Number of features are added. So what actually he needs, the client needs, he wants to beat the WhatsApp application. He wants to develop the WhatsApp application. So here what is the drawback here? So in that, what are the features present in 2009 of WhatsApp? So there are upgraded in the year 2020. So they are upgraded here. So that's why the client is not going to satisfy. He is not going to satisfy here. So there will be a gap or there will be a miscommunication here. So that's why we need agile. That's why we are going for the agile. So not only this WhatsApp, we have number of applications here. We have number of applications here like Facebook, TikTok, or other applications, Instagram or YouTube. So whatever we have seen previous year, so that is not same as this year. So these are the drawbacks. So that's why we are going for the agile methodology. So now we will see what exactly the agile history is. So after seeing all these drawbacks, what some intelligent peoples or some great personalities of software industries, they came or they gather in a meeting, and this meeting contains totally 17 people are there. 17 people are there. So this meeting was headed by or led by Kent Beck, and other 16 persons are there. 16 group of people are there. These 16 group of people are software engineers, consultants, and writers. So these are the 16 group of people. They all gathered in the 1990s, and they have come with a manifesto, values and principles. They have designed values and principles. So those values are totally 4 values and 12 principles are there. 4 values and 12 principles are there. And then they have named it as a agile. Name it as a agile. Okay. So agile means what exactly the meaning of Agile is, make it quick. Make it quick. So that is Agile. What exactly Agile is, or keep it simple. So these are the terms of Agile. Okay. So they have named it as a Agile. So this is the history of Agile methodology. So we will review again here. So Kent Beck and other 16 group of people gathered, and they have made a meeting, or they have made a gathering. So in that gathering they have discussed all they have made their brainstorms, created one manifesto. So that manifesto contains 4 values and 12 principles. 4 values and 12 principles they have contained, and they have named it as a Agile. Agile in the sense, make it quick or make it simple. So like that, different meanings are there. We will see what exactly Agile is. So like that way, they have developed this Agile methodology or Agile process. So now we will see what exactly Agile is. So Agile is a set of practices, values and principles for software product development. Okay. So what is Agile? Agile is a set of practices, set of values, set of principles for developing a software. That is the meaning of Agile. So Agile contains set of practices, set of values, set of principles for developing a software. So now let us see the core ideas of Agile development. So first one is adaptive, next one is iterative or incremental, next one is people oriented. So these are the core ideas of Agile methodology. So what are these core ideas? First one is adaptive, next one is iterative or incremental, next one is people oriented. So let us see one by one. So first one is adaptive. So here adaptive means teams and the process should be flexible in the presence of rapid fire change. That means here adaptive, what exactly the meaning of adaptive? Grabs. So we are going to grab the content, or we are going to ready for changing the requirements. So here adaptive means teams and the process. Whatever the process you are following to develop, it should be flexible. It should be flexible for rapid fire change. That means whenever if you want to change the requirements, so this team and process should be ready. So that is the meaning of adaptive. If you see the picture, so we have different types of computers here. So we will be getting different ideas. So these systems or these applications should be ready to change. These should be ready to change at any time. System should be flexible to change these requirements. So that is what adaptive means. Next one is iterative or incremental. So Agile development produces working products in stages, a growing set of completed and working software. So Agile development produces working products here. So it is going to produce working products in different stages, a growing set of completed, and we are going to give the working software. If you see the diagram here, this is one iterative, this is one iterative, and finally we are going to give this final product. For example, iterative in the sense we are going to develop the software level by level, or we are going to divide the software into different parts. Like that we are going to do in the iteration process. So see here, first one iteration, next second iteration, and finally we are going to combine these two and we are going to give the iteration here. So in this way we are going to do the iterative or incremental. See, in the name itself it is telling incremental. Incremental means increasing. So we are going to increment one by one. We are going to do the software development by doing the increments. For example, if you take example of Gmail. So here in the Gmail we will be having first sign in page, next inbox page, next sent page, sent module, or like spam. So take this as an example. So we will be having sign in page and inbox page and sent and spam. So if you are going to develop this Gmail by using this iterative or incremental model, what we are going to do is, so we are going to divide this as one part and this as one iterative, this is as one iterative, and this is as another iterative. So like that we are going to develop these things. So after developing this as first increment and second increment, third increment and fourth increment. So like that we are going to develop, and finally what we are going to do, we are going to integrate all these things we are going to increment or integrate all these things, and finally we are going to give the application called as Gmail. So in this process only we are going to develop the software by using iterative model. So that is iterative or incremental model. So next, people oriented. That means people oriented means here the team, organization and processes will support good people. Here good people in the sense whoever the persons or team members going to involve in developing the software. That means here what exactly we are doing is teamwork. We are going to do the teamwork, and here they are going to work. That means the team members or senior persons are going to work, and what they are going to do, they are going to make the juniors to work. So in this process only we are going to work. That is called as people oriented. If you see the image, so all are under one roof. That means all are working as a team. So that is what people oriented. So these are the core ideas of Agile development. Next we will see characteristics of Agile. If you see first one, keep the things small. That means as we already discussed, we are going to divide the project into different types of iterations or different types of increments. So that's why we are keeping this as a small, because to avoid the complex issues, and deliver partially. So we are going to deliver the software module by module. We are not going to deliver the entire project at a time. So we are going to deliver the project partially, and after that we are going to give completed software, completed iterative frequently to the client or customer. So talk to customer often. So in this Agile methodology, what we are going to do, we are going to interact with the customer very often. That means every day we are going to involve the client in the development phase or in the requirements phase, because we don't know how the client mind is. So whenever he wants to change the requirements, we should be ready to change those requirements. So that is what we need to talk with the customer very often, and write more code than documentation. In the previous models, we are going to make a huge documentations. In a conventional model or sequential model, we are going to make huge documentation. So in the Agile, what we are going to do, rather than doing more documentation, here we are going to do the more code, and everyone on the team learns together. Core ideas of Agile. So in that what we have done is people oriented we have seen. So in that people oriented, all people are going to work together. So these are the characteristics of Agile. So now we will discuss agility and cost of change. So in this one, we are going to see the difference between conventional model and Agile model, how it will be the cost when we are adding the new requirements. So that we are going to see. So here we are going to check development cost, and here we are going to check development schedule progress. So if you see this line, so this line is related to conventional process. So whenever we are going to make changes, or we are going to make changes on the requirements while developing a software, its cost is going to be very high, because here we are going to follow step by step process. And next one, while we are going to consider Agile process, the cost of change is very low when compared to conventional model. You can see this. So this cost is very low when compared, because in the Agile we have a facility to add requirements whenever we want, because as we are going to divide the software, we can get low cost while developing the Agile process. So that is the cost of change here. Now we will see Agile practices. So there are many Agile practices. So there should be a direct communication between developers and client. So there should be a direct communication between developers and client. Next one is, we should go with the short term estimation, as we are going to divide the project into number of modules or number of iteratives. So we are going to keep it as a short. And next, single list of features and tasks. Next, short time box iterations. Next, continuous integration will be done. So every day after completion of unit testing, we are going for the continuous integration here. And next one, regular retrospectives and information radiators. So these are the practices which we are going to do in the Agile if you are going to develop a software by using Agile practices. So now we will see very important concept, Agile values in the Agile manifesto. We will see one by one here. So first one is individuals and interactions over process and tools. So this, what we are going to do, we are going to divide here. So this is one part and this is another part. So left side and right side. So in the left parts, we are having values like individuals and interaction, and right side we are having process and tools. So we are going to give more value in individuals and interactions, because we are going to interact with the clients, we are going to interact with the customers. So and we are going to gather all the requirements rather than processes and tools. That is the first one. Next, working software over comprehensive documents. That means we are not going to do more comprehensive documents. Rather than that, we are going to concentrate on developing the software. That is the second one, second value. Next, third one, customer collaboration over contract negotiation. Next, fourth one, responding to change over following a plan. So here, customer collaboration over contract negotiation. Here, what we are doing, we are going to do or interact with the customer. We are going to interact with the customer over contract negotiation. That means rather than meeting the client at the deployment phase, if he wants to change any requirements, so he will ask for requirements change. But what the company people will do, so they are going to show the agreement or contract negotiation. So we have made this contract. So as per that contract only we have developed. So which is not good thing. So our development should be like that. We are going to change the requirements whenever the customer requires. So that is important here. Next, respond to change over following a plan. So that's what we are discussing. We should be ready for responding the change. So whatever the client requires for change, we should be ready for that. So these are the 4 values in Agile. So first one is individuals and interactions over process and tools. Next, working software over comprehensive documents. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation. Responding to change over following plan. So these are the 4 values of Agile. So here what we are going to do, so we are going to give more preference for left side values rather than right side. So this is the Agile values. So this is the official website agilealliance.org. So where you can see all the requirements, all the values and principles in this one. So that is Agile values. So now we will see Agile principles. So totally there are 12 principles are there. We will see one by one. So first principle is our highest priority should be our customer. Our in the sense here we are the development team and we are going to satisfy the customer by giving response to the changes which we want. That means we are going to give customer satisfaction is the development team responsibilities, and satisfying the customer through early and continuous delivery. So early in the sense, lets the customer see the product early. That means the customer can see the product at the early stage. That means he can see the blueprint. And continuous delivery. So after completion of one iterative, the client can see the blueprint of the product. And early and continuous delivery of valuable software. So what customer wants, outcome should be aligned with what the customer values. So this is the first principle. Next, second principle. We are going to welcoming changing requirements. We are going to welcome the requirements change even in the late. So even in the late means even in the deployment phase also we are going to add the requirements. So that is what we are going to do in the principle 2. So we should be ready to welcome the changing in the requirements even late in the development phase. Even late in the development phase also we should be ready to change the requirements as per the client requirements. So that is what we are going to do in the second principle. So there will be a number of iterations in the development of software. So for every iteration there will be a preferences as per the client requirements. So based on those preferences only we are going to develop. So we are going to deliver software very frequently. With that may be a couple of weeks or couple of months, which is going to be on the preference of short-term time scale. That means, so on the base of client requirements, on the basis of customer requirements only, we are going to prepare the iteratives. Okay. So Ajay, so see here, deliver working software frequently. So here we are going to deliver the software very frequently. So frequently means to keep a happy customer happy, it is important to deliver value often. And next, shorten time scale. So deliver early and in small periods. So that means in a small periods only we are going to deliver the software so that the client can see the blueprints. Next one is fourth principle. So here the business people, that means business peoples in the sense client. So the client and developers must work together. So here the customer, business people means, and the development team are going to work together daily so that we can give the quality of the product. So continuous and consistent collaboration increases transparency and trust across all the phases of project. So that is what we are going to do in the fourth principle. In the fifth principle, what we are going to do, we are going to motivate all the individuals. That means as a leader, so we should keep the team very motivated, happy. So then only we can get the good product. And environment, and give them such environment flexible to work for them and support whatever the support they need, so that we should be given. And finally, we should make them to do the job. We should create an environment to do the job. So that is what a fifth principle, the most efficient and effective method of conveying information. So whatever we are developing, we are going to convey to the customer so that we can maintain the transparency or to the client and face-to-face conversation. So we should involve the customer. We have to make the communication to the customer in order to get effectiveness and efficiency. So these things in the principle 6. Next, seventh principle. So working software is the primary measure of progress. So here Agile manifesto, principle 7, what we are going to do is working software is the primary measure of progress. So to keep customer happy, it is always important to show the business value delivered from features and functionalities built in the product. So what we are going to do, we are going to give working software to the client, and we are going to focus on building software rather than creating documents. So as we already discussed, we are going to concentrate on code rather than creating the documents like that. So primary measure of progress. So these things we are going to see in the principle 7. So in the 8th principle, what we are going to do. So here Agile process promotes sustainable development. Sustainable development means, so be mindful of setting realistic expectations to keep the team members' morale high. So these things we are going to do in the sustainable development. And constant pace. Constant pace in the sense every stakeholder in the team should be equally engaged with the vision throughout the project. So that is what constant pace. And indefinitely means work-life balance with high morals help the team to continuously and consistent deliver in manageable, repeatable cycles. So this is what we are going to execute in the principle 8. Next, 9th principle. So in the 9th principle, continuous attention. So what we are going to do, we are going to focus to technical excellence. Technical excellence in the sense, with shorter iterations and frequent delivery, it is important to focus on sustaining the delivered features and maintaining technical hygienic. So this is what we are going to do in the technical excellence. And good design. Agility can be achieved when the architecture of the product is designed to be scalable when needed. So that is what 9th simplicity means. We are going to keep the values very simple. So here what we are going to do, we are going to maximize the amount of work not done. So what we are going to do, we are going to prioritize from product perspective, and smart selection of features is extremely crucial here. So that is what we are going to do in the principle 10. We are going to take the best architectures, requirements and design emerging from self-organizing teams. So that is what we are going to do here. That is 11th principle. So here we are going to inspect every iterative, that is second pillar of a prism. So that we are going to do, and a team should be on a regular basis back on its deliverable and process to retrospects on what went and when what can be approved. So these things we are going to do, and then we are going to tune and adjust. Tune in the sense we should be adapt. So we should be in a stage to adapt. So that is what tunes and adjust. So based on the results of inspection, team identifies action teams to improve upon and accordingly make adjustments to the way for working, improving the delivery. So this is the 12th principle. So now we will see the conclusion. So students, I hope you understood what is the need of Agile, what is Agile and characteristics of Agile, and next Agile practices and Agile manifesto. So in that manifesto it contains 4 values and 12 principles. So these things we have seen. I hope you all understood all these things. So this is about Agile development methodology. So in the next session we are going to see the implementations of Agile model. So till now we have seen how to develop a software by using Agile practices or Agile characteristics or by using agile values and 12 principles. So now in the next session, what we are going to discuss is the implementation. So how to implement these agile models we are going to see. So that those implementation models are unified process, extreme programming and Scrum. So these things we are going to see in the next session. So thank you for watching. Happy learning.